Happy Friday to our first lockdown Friday. Now, it's, what's the word? An apology. Unfortunately, our friend Tom, who often was the Friday chap, isn't with us. He's too busy working. So, if you're wanting to share in our Friday with me, then now's the time. Hello, Diane. Happy Friday. We're starting this Friday at the bar using the blue ball or a small ball. If you haven't got a ball, it really isn't going to make much difference to your lives. But the bar work will be one part of the video. Originally, hi Lorna, I was going to do just one video over 30 minutes, but the stuff of the stretch with the roller is so good that I'm going to do the first video now, which is all the kind of ball and wake up the legs, and then I will start a second video on the roller within moments of having tuned out of the leg work. Hello, Ken. Hopefully we're looking forward to a kind of stretchy, activated, releasing moment. It's Friday, we need something different to do. And unfortunately, Tom's not here to entertain us. So I'm having to entertain you myself, which isn't really the best format, is it? Anyway, hopefully everyone that's coming in the room, get yourselves ready at a chair or a bar. We're using the ball. The ball will immediately wake up your inner thigh, which is possibly the only thing we haven't really targeted this week. So we need the inner thigh to be connected, and the ball allows us to do that. So finding your equipment, finding your body, finding your breath. It's a very slow return. I realise I'm probably a couple of minutes too early, so talk amongst yourselves to the cat, drink your cup of tea, phone a friend even. Make sure your video's all sorted. The weather when I got up this morning very early actually was absolutely chucking it down, but I've just looked outside and it's lovely and bright. Hello, Christina. Tina, great to see you in the room too. So just saying, Tina, that we're using the blue ball, and in using the blue ball, we're also using the bar to make sure we get an accurate technique. The first video, this one right now, will be short and sweet, but definitely deliberate. Hello, Moodoo. Don't know who you are. Looks good though. Who is Moodoo? Disclose your name to me, please. Have a little ball ready if you've got one. Have your chair ready and get ready to breathe deeply. Get a lot of cardiovascular connection, not necessarily a workout so much as that connection of blood flow, heart, lungs and circulation. And then when we do the next video, I'll be taking you to a releasing position. The only way you can release properly is if you're properly warm. So the first video is about getting warm, then quickly tune into the second video. Good morning, Janine and Kay. Second video is about releasing all of you, trying to give you a stress-free weekend as you find things to do within your context of home, garden, and maybe walking out with a personal friend. All right, I'm going to take my place in front of the camera, and here's to a great workout. If you stand ready at the bar and stand with your feet as parallel, I realise some people are still tuning in. I'm trying to be quite smart about starting because I recognise that when we look back over a lot of these Facebook videos during the first lockdown, the preamble could be as long as almost 10 minutes, and I know we did that to give people the chance to get their connection. I kind of excuse that so much as just that's why sometimes you could put a video on and have a cup of tea and then get into the actual workout. But for those of you that have tuned in and I've seen in the room, welcome. Either use a chair, bar, level, surface area, banister, whatever it is and wherever it is you're working out at, and find your first position with the ball between your thighs. When you put the ball between the thighs, I would say mid-thigh bone, not knee joint, and the feet feel as though they're a wee bit closer together than they normally would be. I want this ball to push my bony part of my thigh, the thigh bones away, creating space at my hip. I need to feel that constant tension. And also, if you have the ball in the right place, it will naturally take the arches of your feet to a non-pronated, rolled-in version of yourself. Once you have your ball in place and have your feet level, finding your breathing connection. We'll slowly do every exercise. There aren't many. It really is a legs wake up, rib cage, abdominal breath exercise moment before we take to the roll and release. I'm putting my hand on the bar, start with my first breath in, my pelvic position I know to be neutral, Hinging at the hip with the inhale and breathing out, coming back up. Take as big a breath in and out as you can. The more you breathe, the more core heat you'll create in this moment. As your elbow bends, your hips flex, your knees bend and back up. Inhaling down you go, sitting your sit bones back, breath out and come back up. Lowering down and pushing up. The chance to get your ankles stable, notice whether or not they're rolling in and out, matters just now. The ball, if you go down and squeeze on it or come up and squeeze on it, that'll bring in your adductors, the inner thigh muscles that you need to wake up to work as part of your pelvic stability and leg strength. Next time you go down, stay. Our other part of the prep will always be that pelvic tilt position. I've turned my alignment so you can see more clearly. Breathe as deep as you can in now and keep the shoulder blades together. On the breath out, you'll start the pelvic floor curling, tucking under, flexing the lower back. Stay there, breathe in, keep the ball gently squeezed with the inner thigh, and then exhaling, allow the pelvic position to go back to its neutral. Exhale next time, the ribs you feel, and then the pelvic floor, creating that pelvic tilt with the hip bones folding under you fractionally. Remember, this movement is so subtle, but when you get it right using the pelvic floor, not a bum squeeze, you hydrate, mobilize, stabilize the deep parts of the pelvic stability system. We're going to stay there, you found your neutral, and ease in, as we've done probably every morning this week, easing into the seat area from the back of the thigh to the glute, the slight increased bend at the knee, the keeping of the foot into a print of the outside and the heel, and the continuous breath, inhaling and exhaling. We need to get to the place where breathing is like the first thing we think of, and the next thing is always just the exercise position. So intuitively, you should all be breathing deeply in and out. And if you're breathing in and out with any effect, you'll constantly feel your ribcage core connection. The next breath out, stay, empty of air completely, breathe in again. To come to stand, you'll exhale and use that pelvic tilt to roll through the lumbar area, roll through the mid-waist, thoracic, and find yourself up to stand. Ready then for a little bit of ankle mobilization, keeping that ball where it belongs. Roll to your tiptoes and lower back down. I said this morning is about release and kind of stretchy, mobilizing, stabilizing stuff. I don't want any part of you really to feel overly activated, but every part to feel warm and invited into the show. Exhaling, up with the pelvic floor and up to tiptoes. Exhaling, you go up and inhale down. Cue the pelvic floor to draw up as you roll up and core stabilize to lower down. Staying on your tiptoes then, breathe. We now go straight to our flat back squat. The difference between yesterday and today is we have that ball. So as you go down into the squat, pull the thighs towards the ball, and as you come back up, maybe lighten or keep on pulling. Inhaling and making sense of your trunk stability. You feel the inner thigh, you keep your heels slightly elevated, and the inner thigh and the abdominal wall work together. Inhaling and exhaling. Go down and stay. Down here again, we know what's coming, don't we? You breathe in and the whole of the ribcage expands. The breath out as your pelvic floor flexes the lower back, draw against that ball. Inhale and let the pelvis and the lumbar go back to neutral. Breath out, pelvic curl, ball squeeze, pelvic floor, not bum squeeze. Inhale and release back. This movement needs to start to feel flowing and fluid rather than jerky and bracing. So you're not thrusting, you're gently articulating into that pelvic tilt, drawing the hip bones under, using internal oblique and flowing back. This is your last one. The next time you go to your neutral, make sure you're upright, and we go into squeezing the ball continuously. Check your knee joints, still a level, thigh bones positioned. If you keep this continuous connection to the ball, you'll wake up the inner thighs, and it's a lovely feeling. So you're back to your lengthened breath, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale through the nose, relax through the collarbone, shoulder area, and exhaling. People, the next time you breathe out, stay. Breathe in, Breathe out, pull your heels down so you end up flexed into a normal squat position. Huge inhale, pull against the ball and the pelvic floor as you roll the spine to your standing position. You're now ready to take it into the hamstrings. This is where we end up with single squat stability. Take the ball, I'm taking it behind my left thigh first. Now on this one with the ball, you need to make sure the ball is right into the knee area. Then, I'll turn around again. The thighs are level with each other for this. You face the chair, but you're going to squat and stand. Thighs stay together, you've got single leg squat, you hip hinge, that's your squat shape, and you stand. Keep going. By using a piece of equipment, you could if you want. I'm standing on my right leg, my ball's behind my left leg, and I've got my left hand on the support system, which is my bar. Going down as you breathe in, exhale up. Don't think about what you can feel in your legs so much as think about core connecting, the breathing to the trunk stability. You're going to go down this time and stay, and we add to this. Breath out then, push the ball to the ceiling, the ball leg, that's the left leg, and simultaneously straighten out the standing leg. Inhale, come down into that crouchy type squat. Breath out, keeping your symmetry, up you go, and inhale, come back down. I often will take my right arm off the bar, off the support, because the brain will pick up more need to stabilise generally, whereas if you tend to hold something hard, your brain's not quite sure where the greatest need is for stability. Your resisting twist at this point, you've just got 2 more, and 1 more. This time come down and stay. Yesterday we did rotation, so we're doing it again, the abduct and return. So you rotate, the ball helps the thigh know where it is better and keeps the hamstrings engaged on both legs. The standing leg is compressing, shrinking, floating away and hinging down. Reaching away and hinging down. You feel the ball socket effect of the global glute area because your rotation is happening as you press away and abduct. You've just got 2 more. Last one, keep that ball and allow that to go. Taking the ball away, you've woken up every part of the leg really. Ready for the other side. Keep your knee, that's the standing leg, soft, don't lock out any leg. Both thighs are together, I look down at my knee joints, make sure they're level. Quick check on my pelvic position, make sure it is neutral. And down we go. The first squat, have another glance down at the thighs, they need to be levelled for this to be right. Breathing in, breathing out. As you keep the heel pulling to your bottom on the ball leg, this is my right leg this time, the hamstring on that leg will also recruit and help as part of your stabilisation. The lighter you are with your arm position, hand position on the equipment that you're using, the better, but you do need to have symmetry, you can't be random. Inhale, sit that bottom back, breathe out, finding the oblique connect and pushing the ground away with the leg. You're pressing into the heel outside of the foot, and next time we go down to stay. This is how we have our hamstrings, so you float your leg to the sky and simultaneously straighten out the standing leg. Inhale, crouch back, glide back, don't tuck that bottom under. Breathe out and push it up. Inhaling and pressing. Hinging at the hip and extending at the hip. You pull the knees together, push the knees apart. Pull the knees together, push the heel to the ceiling. That's another way of seeing it. Okay, you've got 1 more before we change to your rotation. That's the karate almost without the kick. So you pull the leg out, rotate, and return back. Breathe. Exhale, abduct, rotate around the pelvic to thigh bone connection, and obviously the ribs. So we take the leg out, and we rotate. And you come back. Inhaling. Exhaling. So I've got right arm on, right leg moving, left leg stabilising and feeling very much involved in my life. 2 more. Last time. And you should feel a switch on. The final position here is going to be more of a stretch. It's before we go to the roller release. Take your leg, actually no, start with your legs wide. I've just remembered what I was going to do. You're going to start with wide plie. In wide plie, we need hip openness. This whole workout is meant to release you. Now sometimes we have to wake places up to create a release. So using your breath in to go down, I'm pushing the ball against my sternum to stop me ending up like a hunchback. I'm pulling into my heels but pressing my knees wider than I think they want to go. I'm keeping nothing in my back and nothing in my knee joint. Your range of movement is determined by your hip mobility and strength. So don't worry if you're not as wide as me. You can be much narrower on this, and you certainly don't need to be in the range of turnout that I'm demonstrating. Keep going. When you think about life, we've lost this range naturally. Life increasingly, unless you have a strange career I know nothing about, life becomes very narrow at the open hip area. By simply doing your range of movement continuously, you will maintain as much hip openness as is possible. That keeps mobility going, keeps you moving. All right, we're going to go down and stay there. My final invitation here is to stretch through the adductors, keep the knees pulling wide. Your pelvic position, I'm hinged at the hip, it's more or less sumo squat. You don't want to be tucked under, particularly if your name's, I won't mention names, don't be tucked under, have that flat back posture out of the equation. I feel my sit muscles, I feel my medialis area of the quadrus here, the muscle that leads to the knee joint, the saggy baggy area that we tend to want to avoid, and stay. Breathe, and then push all the way up. 2 stretches to finish. I'm going to turn one foot to face the camera and the other foot to face away. Once I've done that, we get into more stretch. The rotation of the hip can happen. If it's too intense on your knee, bring your legs close together, but you'll know, and you can't let the ankle roll. Take the ball, so my leg that's pointing to the foot to camera is my right leg. So my right arm's taking the ball and I'm turning my right shoulder forwards, putting my left shoulder back, and then aiming to lunge forwards into the opposite leg. So my left knee, foot pointing forwards, I'm lunging over my ankle, and if you get this right, it's a push and pull with your left, the leg that you're leaning into. You'll feel the hamstrings and adductors. By gently flowing your arms as though they're walking, you get a bit more contralateral connection to the pelvic area that's stretching. And this is your last one, stay. Listen, now turn the back foot so that both feet, you can shimmy to a much more parallel if you want. Both feet are now pointing forwards, and we have our stretch for our quad and our hams. This is like scooter on the reformer. You'll lower the knee down and push back up. Both pelvic position is level, left to right, right to left, lowering down, pushing up. One more, lower down. Next time you go down, you'll stay. Staying where you are then, keep your chest up, keep the ball to the floor if you want to help, and open the hip as far as you're comfortable to go. With your front leg now, take the foot out sideways and do a little bit of turnout to get into other heads of hamstring onto the sit bone. As long as there's nothing twingy or achy, but the sensation of lengthening through the pelvic thigh to the back of the thigh on the other leg, then you've got the right thing. I haven't slumped, I haven't got a round back, I am breathing, no I'm not, I'm talking. All right, and let that go. To get yourself back to where you belong, push up, so you centre everything, and centre, allow the posture to roll down. If you want, put your ball under your head if you've got that range of movement. Stretching now both adductors, keeping the ankles totally from rolling, so I'm pushing to the outside of my instep. And then I'm going to ease myself the other way round. Now I've got my right leg pushing forwards, my left leg turned out, And my pelvic position, trying to be square. It can't be completely square because that'd just be weird. It's easing in towards the direction of this leg. So you know we go down and up. The arms, I'm going to take the ball obviously now into the left arm as they flow forwards and backwards. The truth is, the ball, it doesn't matter which arm it's in, it's more to give you a reference that you have one side of the body doing one thing and one doing the other. Okay, we're going to go down and stay. Stay where you are, breathe. So you can go deeper, pull your heel to the ceiling, and then use the ball if you need to, as you're lowering down to the floor and pushing back up. Lowering down with the back leg and up. Now we're square at the hip and probably a little bit too extended. That's better. So don't be afraid of moving if you don't feel that you've got the range. The pelvis, she says, wobbling all over the place, wants to stabilise. Down we go, up we go, down to stay. So you saw how wobbly I was there, that was amazing. And down to stay to open the hip. Keep the chest up, keep the extension, the pelvis is absolutely level, there's no tucking under going on. And the further you pull forwards with the front knee, the knee that you're facing, the chest is lifted off it, your abdominals are pulling up and in, the greater the stretch you're going to get. Breathing, 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 and let that go. Okay, that's what we're going to do in this video, because I want to quickly get you into using the roller for the release, everything releasing that's been tight in you and creating hopefully more mobility for every joint, particularly the spine. I'll be with you back in a moment, so hopefully I'll see you soon. Goodbye for now. Don't have a bacon butty. Hello, Andrea. Oh, hi, Mandy and Maria. Okay, you people get ready for the next video. It's going to be amazing. It's roller release. You'll love it. So find your rollers and I'll set you up again in 5 minutes. Bye for now.